What doesn't kill you? What doesn't kill you and I makes us stronger. I don't know who said that. If any of you know, you could drop it in the comments. If you're watching the replay, let me know that you're watching the replay. And the question of the day is, what has happened to you in your life that could have killed you? I don't mean literally, but could have killed you, but instead of killing you, made you stronger, and you adapted. You grew around it. So, you've probably heard that, like blood vessels in the body, if they get blocked, they grow new blood vessels, right? They move around the obstacle. I look out here at trees on the ranch, and so many trees, when like limbs may run into an obstacle like a rock or another limb, and you just watch what they do over the years. They grow around it. And so I think it's the Marines that have that saying, adapt, improvise, and overcome, right? So what I was thinking about today is the things that happen to us that come out of left field. We're not surprised. We're not planning for them. We're totally surprised. And it could be a health issue, either ourselves or a loved one. Could be a business issue. Could be a tax issue. Could be a political government issue. Could be your employer, right? It's like, well, all right, so let's say you have money in the stock market and all of a sudden the stock market crashes. Well, you didn't see that coming, and what are you going to do about it? Well, there's not anything you can do about the crash, right? You can't change it. Maybe like me when I work for Foster Farms, so they changed the policy. You can't advance any further without a college degree. Nothing I could do about their policy, right? That's their business to make that policy. Maybe you're a sales leader for a company and they change the rules or they change the comp plan, right? You can't, you're really just subject to, that's their business to change the rules and change the comp plan. You can't change that. You can let it kill you. So if you're a tree and you're growing into a rock, you can let it stop you, or you can improvise, adapt, overcome. You can get stronger. You can go the way of Jim Rohn. Don't wish it was easier. Wish we were better. So life is made up that way, right? Life is all about adversity and circumstances where we are forced to adapt. And what I've noticed in my life is, if I'll assume the attitude of overcoming, not letting it stop me, not letting a circumstance determine whether or not I'm going to continue growing or continue succeeding, because I can't control those circumstances. Those are out there in the world, right? So if the Congress and the Senate pass a new tax law, and all of a sudden I don't get deductions I used to get, well, I can scream unfair all I want, and I can crawl in a hole, and I can whine about it and be mad about it and complain about it and rail against the government for passing unfair tax laws. But guess what? Fairness really stopped in about the third grade. That's not a concept that applies to nature, and it doesn't apply to the world. If you're seeking fairness, you're going to get crushed, because life isn't fair and circumstances happen. So if the tax laws change, what do I need to do? I need to get creative and start to adapt my business and my deductions so that I can adapt to the new tax law, right? And if there's no way to keep from paying more taxes, well, then I just pay more taxes, and how I adapt is make more money, right? So, that's adapting. So I was thinking about my friend Lori, who a few years ago tripped and fell in her yard, broke her neck, and she's paralyzed. And I was having dinner with some friends last night, and we were talking about her, and I was contemplating, as I was thinking about her, how I would adapt and improvise and overcome in that circumstance. And she has. I mean, she's got the champion's attitude, right? It's just crazy what a phenomenal attitude she has, and how she's adapted, and she's improvised in all different ways in her life, and she's overcoming because she's living a new life. And then I think about the things that happen to us in business or life, and how some of us let it get to us, like we let it permanently affect our attitude. We let it put us in a funk. We hang on to that fairness story like that's supposed to mean something or be something, and we don't grow through. And I think the opportunity with every adversity, Napoleon Hill said this, with every adversity comes the seed of equal or greater benefit. But only if we embrace that adversity and apply creativity to, okay, given the new landscape, given the new rules, given the new circumstances, how can I grow through this? How can I get better? How can I be creative? How can I be creative where before I wasn't? So if you look at these trees as I drive around the ranch, I see so many trees that they got stopped by something. And then you look at the creativity of, like, they get super creative. The most beautiful trees are those that grew around or through or over or under some obstacle with creativity, which creates the beauty. And without that obstacle, they never would have got creative. They would have just, like this tree over here. I'm taking this tree out, and I'm going to put a beautiful olive tree on that hill right there. Look at that silly tree, right? It's never faced any adversity in its whole life. Versus, I don't know if you can see it, this beautiful tree has faced all kinds of adversity. You can just see it in how the limbs have grown. And this tree's been here for hundreds of years. That tree's weak. This tree's strong. This tree has overcome adversity. This tree has applied creativity to circumstances that are beyond its control. And it's a legacy tree. And I guess the question for you and I is, what do we do with adversity? Do we whine about how unfair it is? Do we curl up in a ball in a funk? Does Humpty Dumpty fall off the wall? Or do you apply Napoleon Hill's, with every adversity comes the seed of equal or greater benefit? Do you apply that so that you put your big girl pants on and your big boy pants on and figure out how to get better, figure out how to get more creative, so that the adversity actually makes us stronger? You can let it kill your spirit, or you can let it inspire creativity and strength. The spoils go to those that are inspired to get stronger and more creative. And that's Daily Dose of Salt. That's not my trailer, that's Mitch's trailer. So Mitch is a high school buddy of mine. He's kind of like a squatter. He's got his trailer parked here at my ranch so that he can come and here. Actually, it's his guest house. So right when Mitch comes, he brings guests. And I only have one bedroom and one bathroom, so he brought a guest house for his guests. Cool, classic old trailer, though, right? It's all restored inside. Looks kind of hamajang. It's what we call it in... Kimmy taught me to say that word for Hawaiian junk. It adds a little bit of character to the ranch. Color. We don't have a lot of color here in the summer and fall, so the trailer provides some cover. If you want to drop something in the comments, I would love to hear, what is something that's killed your spirit? Or what is something that could have killed your spirit that you overcame? I am going to give prizes, I don't know what, to anybody that tells me a story in the comments. Tell me a little story. Give me a little paragraph. And I'll respond to you. And I have a prize for you. Maybe I'll ship you Mitch's trailer. I'll see you tomorrow.